Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Dr. Tanya Dewey, and it's my honor to serve as the Associate Professor and Associate Chair of Undergraduate Studies in the Biology Department. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the college and department, I would like to welcome you to our Spring 2025 Biology Recognition Ceremony. We would like to begin our ceremony this morning with the introduction of the members of the Platform Party who represent the leadership of our department and college. I will ask, I should have asked you guys to be seated. I will ask each person to rise and remain standing through the introductions. No, actually, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. So I'm going to ask, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Jacob Roberts, Professor of Physics and Interim Dean of the College of Natural Sciences. Dr. Debbie Garrity, Professor and Chair of Biology. Dr. Alan Knapp, University Distinguished Professor in Biology. Dr. Leroy Poff, University Distinguished Professor in Biology. Dr. Jennifer Newald, Associate Professor and Assistant Director of the Graduate Degree Program in Ecology. Dr. Jenny Willis, Associate Professor and Director of the Professional Science Master's Program in Zoo, Aquarium, and Animal Shelter Management. And Abby Reed, Academic Success Coordinator and today's name reader. Our commencement speakers today are Drs. Jennifer Newald and Jenny Willis. Let us recognize these outstanding leaders. Please be seated. In addition to those on stage, I would like to take a moment to recognize all the faculty of the department in attendance today who take great pride in providing the highest quality education to our students. Faculty members in attendance, please rise as you are able. Please be seated. And now I'm pleased to introduce to you Dr. Deborah Garrity, Chair of the Department of Biology.
Thank you, Dr. Dewey. Well, today we recognize an extraordinary milestone, culmination of years filled with late-night study sessions, countless cups of coffee, and let's admit it, a truly astounding number of Google searches. You've spent your college years immersed in exploring the wonders of life, examining cells, uncovering the intricacies of DNA, wrestling with statistics, perhaps curating an impressive collection of unusual insect specimens that your friends just don't ask about. Your academic journey has been driven by deep curiosity, and you've worked to unravel the mechanisms of the natural world and investigate its mysteries. Today's achievement goes far beyond earning a degree. It's a testament to your resilience, your unrelenting curiosity, and your commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. It reflects countless hours of hard work, challenges overcome, and the courage to dream boldly. You entered CSU as students curious about how life works, and today you leave as skilled scientists, trailblazers, and seekers of knowledge equipped with tools to make a profound difference in our world. And at a time when society faces profound challenges ranging from conservation to food security to pandemics to global health, the world urgently needs experts like you in biology and zoology as well as leaders devoted to animal well-being and thoughtful management. So as you step forward into your next chapter, realize your skills and knowledge represent seeds of hope, catalysts for progress, and foundations for building a brighter future for all. Be the changemakers our world needs. It is now my distinct honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Jennifer Newald, and many of you will know her from courses in introductory biology, evolution, or natural history. Dr. Newald is one of biology's most esteemed professors and the recent recipient of the Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching Award. Her dedication to high-quality teaching and her unwavering commitment to student success have earned her this well-deserved recognition. Dr. Newald, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the platform today.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Today we gather to celebrate a remarkable journey, one that perhaps for many of you started not quite as you expected in the fall of 2020, but one that has built resilience and strength, friendships and community, and of course, scholarship and academic achievement in each of you. I consider myself lucky to have been part of that journey for many of you. From your thoughtful questions, which enriched the learning experience, to your good humor when we shook things up a bit. For example, some of you who were in my intro bio course in Life 102 may remember The Greatest Showman singing us through understanding aspects of photosynthesis. Or maybe you were in my evolution course when we used a modified Star Wars trailer to transition from micro to macroevolution. Anyone remember demonstrating folding like a protein or pantomiming the behavior of male marine iguanas? Maybe. Regardless of the ways that we learned, your experience here at CSU has helped shape who you are today. You have acquired new skills, expanded your intellectual horizons, and built a solid foundation for your next step. Regardless of what that next step is, whether as a professional in the discipline or embracing the scientific mindset philosophically, you now embody the knowledge, critical thinking, curiosity, and commitment to evidence-based understanding that defines you as a biologist. Many of you know I like analogies, so I'd like to share one more with you before you leave. Descent with modification. Remember what that is? When you leave here, you will diverge onto separate paths, acquiring new ideas and innovations, modifying the knowledge you gained based on new evidence, and evolving into your future selves. But we will always have our shared, common academic ancestry. You all started here as CSU Rams. You all started here in biology. Now go, embrace your journey, continue to evolve, and make a difference. The future is yours to shape. Congratulations, graduates.
Next up is Dr. Jenny Willis for the next speech.
Thank you, Dr. Dewey. Uncertainty, resilience, obstacles, innovation. Your perspective will shape your future. The situations you face going forward are not really about what happens, but how you choose to handle it. The choices that led you here started so long ago. You asked why and looked for answers. You acted on inspiration from an early teacher or a parent. You studied and studied and studied. Now, as a graduating master's student, you have successfully navigated the complex problem solving and persevered through adversity and challenge. You've learned how to work hard and not give up. You are ready to step forward into the career you've prepared for. Martin Luther King's words could well be said of your time here at CSU. This is not a place you come to, this is a place you go from. You will go from here to save a species. You will go from here to cure diseases. You will go from here to make the lives of people and animals better. You all hold within you tremendous capacity to change this world. We chose you. We taught you. We believe in you. As you go forward and share your gifts with the world, don't forget where you came from. We won't be with you, but we will be watching. Shine your light.
Thank you, Dr. Willis. We will now take a moment to recognize the students who have earned academic honors and distinctions. Students earning the cum laude designation have distinguished themselves through outstanding academic performance during their time at CSU. Their GPA is in the top 10% of their graduating class. Those students graduating summa cum laude are students in the top 1% with a GPA of 3.99 or better. Students designated magna cum laude make up the next 3% of the class with a GPA above 3.94. And those designated cum laude constitute the next 6% with a GPA above 3.83. Those students are wearing golden gowns or a gold cord over a green honors gown. The University Honors Program offers a challenging and rewarding curriculum for outstanding students, and all honors students must maintain at least a 3.5 cumulative GPA. These students are wearing green gowns and bachelor's hoods, or if in a gold gown, they will be wearing a green cord. Will the summa cum laude and magna cum laude, and honors program graduates please stand or raise your hand so that we may applaud your remarkable academic accomplishments. Thank you. Please be seated. Another group the department would like to recognize is our first-generation students. First-generation students are students whose parents have not completed a bachelor's degree. These students are a point of pride for us all. Will our first-generation graduates and our faculty here in attendance who are first-generation graduates please stand or raise your hand so we may applaud your success. Thank you. Please be seated. We will now recognize students receiving a second major. Will our graduates receiving degrees in second majors please stand or raise your hand so we may acknowledge your dedication and commitment. Please be seated. Thank you. Shortly, we will begin the diploma distribution. You, our newest graduates, will be introduced by Academic Success Coordinator Abby Reed and receive your diploma covers from Dr. Deborah Garrity, the Chair of the Department of Biology. You will then be congratulated by Dean Roberts and process across the stage where faculty from the department will greet you as you proceed off the stage. You will have your individual picture taken and afterwards return to your seat. And now on to the most important part of today's celebration. At this time, marshals, please escort our spring 2025 graduates to the platform. We will begin with master's graduates, followed by bachelor's graduates. Please join me in welcoming our name reader to the stage, Academic Success Coordinator Abby Reed.
Okay. All right, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Sorry, the script. Okay. All right, in just a moment, I will present the spring 2025 graduates of the Department of Biology. But first, let me make a couple of announcements. Graduates will be announced beginning with the students receiving their Master's of Science degrees, followed by students receiving their Bachelor of Science degrees. This is your ceremony, and we want you to celebrate with your students and take photographs. Please do so in an orderly manner that does not block the view of other guests. Graduates, if you were given a major sign, please hand that to me as you approach the microphone. And now, it is with immense pleasure that I present to you the spring 2025 graduates of the Department of Biology. Graduates receiving a Professional Science Master's in Zoo, Aquarium, and Animal Shelter Management. Kaylee Adams, her thesis, The Power of Story, Evaluating the Impacts of Storytelling on Engagement Levels, Attitudes, and Emotions of Zoo Guests. Nathan Ohms, Lemur Snack Showdown, Exploring the Balance of Nutrition and Behavior. Ashley Bruising, Building Foundations, an Experiential Journey in Nonprofit Development and Event Planning. Chase Alsup, Bridging the Gap, Improving Adoptability of Fearful and Aggressive Parrots Through Behavior Modification. Corinne Zylstra, Cultivating Connections, Strengthening a Volunteer Animal Ambassador Team Through a Virtual Learning Platform. Casey Agri, A Tall Task, Exploring Techniques to Increase Giraffe Participation at Feeding Encounters. Emily Caruth, Enrichment Strategies for Promoting and Mitigating Behaviors, Research in African Penguins, and a Case Study in African Lions, DeBrazza's Monkeys, and Ball Pythons. Cassidy Payne, Fishing for Answers, Decoding Life Expectancy Dynamics in Group-Housed Fish. Samantha Sherry, Hats On, Minds Open, Using 3D Printing to Explore Sea Urchin Behavior and Guest Engagement. J.C. Stamps, Advancing One Welfare, Creating a Training Program for Frontline Staff at the Cheyenne Animal Shelter. Liz DeCosmo, Improving Well-Being Through a Free-Ranging Habitat. Lita Hernandez, Evaluating an Enhancement of Educational Programs at Cougar Mountain Zoological Park. Maya Michaelizik, Emergency Plan Development for Hawaiian Humane Society. Christina Forney, Pause, Protocols, and Participation, Enhancing Access to Care Procedures and Empowering Pet Owners Through Cooperative Care Training. Avery Schneider, Behavioral Effects of Carcass Feeding in Amur Leopards. Kelly Garvin, Environmental Enrichment Decreases Stress in Laboratory Zebrafish. And now for the Masters of Biological Science. We have Chloe Butler. Her thesis was Local Adaptation to High Altitudes Modifies the Immune Response in Deer Mice. Now for our Bachelors of Science in Zoology. Zach Lane Topham. Is that right? Sorry, got it. Cheyenne Renee Oramas. Nora Elizabeth Vargo. Ashley Thatcher White. Jonas King Peterson. Diane Landvogt. Megan Delaney Garrison. Sorry, slow down. Slow down. Rebecca Franco Rubio. Paige Elise Swigart. Hannah Entwiles. Lillian Nicole Jones. Brooke Lindsay Baggett. Madeline Virginia Dixon. Callie Ann Kirkpatrick. Alessandra Jean Ostheimer. Madeline Kate Hayes. Isabella S. Burkow. Sorry, got it. Allie Procopio. Lucas Mora Kazmierski. Rosanna Grant Hood. Layla Kalyana Pulushek. Joe South. Nicole Josephine Marie Espinosa Albert. Ashley Marie Hernandez. Emma Caitlin Schrems. Sophia Elise Muser. Emma Rose Mary Hathaway. Karina Pekosh. Gabrielle Sage Goldberg. Sorry. Elijah Anderson. Vivian Grace Lyday. Quinn LaFortune Thayer. Melody Camarada. Lily Carlota Mader. Kaya M. Harris. Garrison Richard Clare. Brady Matthew McGlathry. Savannah Lee Kraus. Jaden Nicole Rydell. Michaela Mackenzie Leclerc. Emma Rose Dale. Ava Barbaras. Rachel Podolsky. Grace Isabella Eckstein. Noah Rahat. Jazriel Sanchez. Margaret J. West. Hannah Dewey. Alyssa Rose Rambajan. Abigail Jo Stouter. Jada A. Joseph. Annabelle Renee Hernandez. Alyssa Kathleen Lloyd. Adriana Abergine. Caitlin McKenna Bryce. Cole Adams. Jonathan Hernandez Cruz. Sierra Mylan. Ariani Carbello Prieto. Sophia Isabel Andretti. Alyssa McHugh. Madison Rose Marie Harden. Alan Ray Eldberg. Carice Helen Holter. Megan Fenner. Macy Davis Zartarian. Connor Elliott. Autumn Spirit Wilson. Haley Hernandez. Sasha Perry Forbes. Kalina Emily Jarvis. Nicole Estefania Boaz Romero. Jessica Kana Arundel. Jessica Allison Matthews. Zachary J. Gore. Louis Strever Falk. Noah J. Pike. Garrett Russell Sellers. Morgan Kamelman. Mia Grace Gonzalez. Serena Ariana Nielsen. Darby Voorhees. Helen Elizabeth Stevens. Kendall Foreman. Lucas Anthony Moore. Trenton William Zimmerman. Sydney Robb. Teresa Desiree Garcia. Kaylee Bell Guerrero. Samantha Maldonado. Hannah Christine Stanley. Trey W. Julian. Anna Rose Lasorsa. Lexi McKinnon. Kayla Hong. Charlie Connolly. Amber Lynn Palama. Charlize Triana Haynes. Sophia Cooley. Jerry Soo-hyun Im. Sorry. Got it. Thank you all for having grace with my pronunciation. I'm trying. All right, next we have the Bachelor of Science in Biology. Lauren McKenna Murray. Evan William Moore. Gordon Michael Yoder. Abigail Kelly Smith. Joy Angermuller. Maria Ignatieff. Cole Stephen Scott. Andrew Joseph Kulik. Mark Christopher Lefevre. Fair. Olivia Rose Miller. Onyu Shoni Flynn. Carissa Noel Chachio. Anna May Hartwick. Magnus Armando Xavier Duran. Arabella Blaskovic, J. Blaskovic. Riley Ann Carpenter. Amanda Rose Kaiser. Sophia Grace Blumenstein. Sean Elizabeth Bailey. Michaela Bowles. Julia Fiona Banks. Olivia Lee Garvin. Addison Lorraine Vandeplas. Kalinda Marie Newport. Sadie Catherine Connor. Vivian Quinn Walker. Adelaide McLean. Ivy Rochelle Peltier. Kelsey Kamiko Sparks. Emily Kirsten Rowe. Sean Dietrich. Elizabeth Ann Host. Ella Claire Spence. Matthew Thomas Ewing. Riley Jean Wood. Drew Faith Martinez. Kendall Elizabeth Prawl. Riley O'Neill. Catherine Kavioha Yashimoto. Joseph Anthony Ochoa. Renee Marie Miller. Kaya Christine Duhan. Bailey Lael Richardson. Justin Lee. Anthony Newdell. Parker Hogan. Brianna Ray Gomez. Brianna Jordan Terry. Fabiana Alvarez Pires. Colin Reed Brown. Catherine Nicole Campbell. Gabriel Lee Cordova. Ricky Valdez. Aiden Graham Morrow. Jackson Wesley Makeley. Camille Moffett. Thomas Lowry. Blake Rerog. James Lawrence Pappas. Armando Sanchez Taquinto. Salma Miriam Kargar. Vanessa Enslow. Benjamin Michael Powers. Kylie Christine Whitert. Paige Hallie Ford. Evelyn Hope Moreno. Juan Antonio Moreno. Elena Malin Tran. Vong Tao Mai. Mariah Stormy Wills. Woo! Maria Elizabeth Martinez. Reese Avery Sprister. Rachel Stassi Rock. Paige Maring Alsup. Lily Marie Herman. Jacoba Sage Stoffer. Martika Reina Herrera. Megan R. Benson. Brianna Ashley Bates. Destiny Alondra Ontiveros. Olivia Christine Travierso. Emily Melissa Fostick Early. Abby Lauren Zakovic. Samuel John Fredericks. Kara Flynn Comerford. Shams Saeed. Emily Margaret Peterson. Caroline Ray Driscoll. Corinne Nicole Walther. Mary Elizabeth Shepard. Ariana Morgan Fakori. Madison Hart Ashton. Ella Renee Atkinson, sorry. Kalea Renee Piper. Corey Andrew King. Janya M. Torres Nicolau. Mia Coeli Tofilo, got it. Brandon Mazefa. Samantha Skurnick. Ella Sanderson. Hadley Elizabeth Calwell. Benjamin J. Collins. Atticus William Swigris. Mia Karina Molina. Amy Elise Hood. Matthew Ray Knudsen. Corinne Michelle Leis. Zachariah A. Magana. Emma May Hill. Avery Cicerone. Julian Shindy Wera. Valerie Ray Jonas. Noelle Julianne Grau. Amber Lee Richlick. Caitlin May. Wendy Grossenbach. Hope Jones. Gina Tycho Cowhick. Calista Elizabeth Doreen Ford Fryer. Victoria Wozniak. Maimuna Dia. Ana Rosa Vasquez Ibarra. Megan Rachel Ford. Genevieve Marie Riley. Ava Remick Snyder. Amelie Viola Flor Vane. Lilius Grace McBain. Hannah Elizabeth Daughtry. Caitlin Rita Miro. Kai Wright. Samantha J. O'Brien. Ethan Shane DeVerda. Futa Shinkawa. Paul R. McGarry. Denise Newman. Thomas Thaddeus Tobias. Gunnar William Hager. Emma Diane Pearl. Aiden Sophie Nave. Sincerity Sandoval. Layla Saran. Lillian Ward. Bella G. Calaroso. Daniel James Dahlstrom. It's been my honor. Thank you. Please take your seats.
Congratulations, graduates. It's now my pleasure to invite Dean Jacob Roberts to the stage for closing remarks.
Thank you, Abby. Graduating students, the celebrations this weekend mark the beginning of a new phase in your life. For those of you who finished your coursework this spring, you will walk away today alumni of Colorado State University. For our graduates who will finish this summer or fall, you are only a few months away from realizing this great achievement. I'm joining you today as a representative of the College of Natural Sciences. The degrees that you're receiving are from our college. And as an alumni of this college, you are now connected to thousands of others who have come before you. Receiving a degree from the College of Natural Sciences is not an easy feat. You've worked hard, shown determination, failed, and tried again. These skills and your academic achievements will carry you far as you embark on your next phase of life. As you walk out of this ceremony today, embrace all of the emotions and feelings that come with this transition. Feel the power of being connected to everyone in the College of Natural Sciences, and know that Colorado State University is not a part of your past, but an ever-present community that will continue to support you through life's many transitions. Congratulations to our graduating class. Before I end my speech today, we must acknowledge the people who have helped you throughout your journey. I would like to take a minute to address the family and friends who are here today and those who are joining us in spirit from afar. Your support and guidance have been and will continue to be critical to these graduates' success. We are forever grateful for the gifts you have given and the sacrifices you have made, all of which have led to this moment. Will the parents, partners, family, and friends assembled here please stand or raise your hands so that we may recognize you. Thank you all. On behalf of the governing board, the faculty, and the administration, congratulations, graduates. Please be seated. For final acknowledgements, please welcome Dr. Deborah Garrity to the podium.
All right, there are a number of people I would like to thank for making today's ceremony possible. First, thank you to the department and college staff, our student employees, our volunteers, our announcer, Abby Reed, and our faculty and marshals and flag bearers. Thank you very much. Thanks also to our platform party and faculty for being here to help celebrate our students. And I want to extend a special thank you to commencement speakers Jennifer Newald and Jenny Willis, and for your thoughtful words, Dean Roberts, join us in our ceremony today. I'd like to ask you as members of the audience to please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and students have left the auditorium, and please meet your graduates outside of the building. Graduates, please remain seated until the platform party has completely exited the room. Marshals will direct you to exit the floor at the appropriate time. Congratulations, class of 2025. Enjoy. Enjoy the rest of this special weekend with your family and friends. Thank you.
I got a crazy teacher, he wears dark glasses. Things are going great, and they're only getting better. shades. I gotta wear shades. Ow, ow, ow. Study nuclear science. I love my classes. I got a crazy teacher who wears dark glasses.